Woohoo! All right, so we're here at the gas station. Look who's back. You know, I was gonna wear that shirt. But I was like, you know what? Something tells me Mark is gonna wear that shell shirt. So let me not wear it today. And sure enough. All right, guys. So what's going on? We are here at the gas station, obviously topping off. We have Jake here. It's been a while since both of these guys have been on the channel. This is what we are bringing today. I'm filming. It was a Civic. That was the last thing we did. But anyway, so we are here. I'm about to go out there and film an episode of Who's Faster. Today's challengers will be Yo and Yo. So if you guys want to go ahead and see that, that one will be on later this month. That won't be right away. Obviously, the vlogs are always first because the other videos take a little bit of time to edit and get ready. But they also brought their friend Zach with his Mustang over here on E85. Your first time on a road course, right? Yeah. But not your first time tracking. No. You've done plenty of autocrosses, yeah. Done tons of first place in those events. Mark, it's been a while since he has done any form of tracking, sort of like, you know, road racing. I mean, I'm sure he's done a few autocrosses in between here and there, but first time tracking this car. First time tracking this car, so you're definitely on a learning curve. He just got tuned and a whole bunch of new suspension, so he's on a new learning curve. But yeah, let's go ahead and top off and head on out. All right, guys, so please forgive the wind noise. We are out here right now at the track. Doesn't look like very many people showed up. I wonder if it's because of the rain and how chilly it is. It's actually pretty windy out here too. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead, start checking tire pressures and all that, and then we'll go on from there. Alright, so we just finished our first session. Unfortunately, during his testing lap, I don't know if you guys can see it, there is a small pin-sized coolant leak coming from his reservoir. So we're going to have to figure that out. Otherwise, there's not going to be an episode of Who's Faster next month. So let's go ahead and try to figure this out first and see what's going to happen. Alright, so Tony is letting us use his lift. Jake and Mark went out to go grab a coolant reservoir. So luckily, the local auto parts store had one in stock. So where is it? So on here is where the pulley was rubbing against it and put like a pin-size hole into this canister. So now what they're going to do is they're going to go ahead and replace it, zip tie the radiator as far back as possible so that way it doesn't rub again. So let me go ahead and put the camera down and help these guys out so we can get this car back out on track. So as we're working on Jake's car, this guy just pulls in and Jesus, my God, this thing is amazing.
Yeah, you want to just rinse it out when you're done?
Okay. We weren't sure if you were just catching straight oil in the oil drain or not.
Oh yeah, the oil drain's just oil because it goes into a big tank. So you think the idler? I don't know.
All right, so they got the old one out and there it is. Jesus. This was brand new too, wasn't it?
Yeah, I put it in a week ago.
You should just return. Hey, this came with a hole in it. All right, so that one's out. Let's go ahead and put the new one in. All right, so we're a few sessions in. Everyone's having fun. It's a good day so far. Still really wet on track. There's no sun. I don't think it's going to clear up today, so I definitely got to try to be careful out there. But yeah, just going to add a little bit more tire pressure to the rear. I think I'd let it go a little too much, so rear end's feeling really slippery. I don't know if it's because there's no tire pressure or it's just really wet outside. But anyways, yeah, let me go ahead and do this and get back out on track, guys. All right, so we got paid out here. He's checking my tires. That was so much better. It's still pretty slippery out there. There's still a lot of wet spots, but according to the AIM Solo, let's see, let me go ahead and pull it back up. Let's see if you guys can read it right there. 151.76. So I was finally able to get down to the 151 recorded. It's pretty wet out there, so I don't know if I'm going to get sub 152 today. We're still messing around. So with the new tires and new brakes, the car feels amazing. Oil temps are still really high. It's getting up to about 260 today. Not quite as high as it was the last time, but still 260, 265. It's almost basically like, around 265. It's like just a hair away from the red line. So that's definitely not something I want to see on track. This car definitely needs an oil cooler. But let's go ahead and still mess around. Unfortunately, my GoPro decided not to work whatsoever. It's not even recording anything, which is why you probably saw like that weird angle of the phone just on me. I'm going to try to face it forward next time. But let's see if I can get to 150. All right, so we're a few sessions in now. What is it, about 1 o'clock, give or take? How's the car feeling out there?
Shaky.
Shaky?
Old.
So obviously most of this is going to be in the Who's Faster video, but how are you feeling out there so far based on you versus Jake? I know your guys' times. How do you feel about your guys' times? Jake's feeling pretty confident.
I know I could be faster. I'm just being a baby about it. You know, the car still needs a lot of work.
This is your first time tracking this.
Yeah, first I'm tracking it, and I still got parts sitting in the sidelines. You know, it's just.
And it's wet out on track.
Yeah,
it's not drying up. It's cold, so the tires are taking a good amount of time to warm up. It's definitely a lot of conditions that are going against us. The only thing that seems to be helping us is the fact that it is cold. So obviously that's great for boosted cars. My coolant temps are amazing. They're below 200 after a full session, which is great. That's phenomenal. This car obviously does not need a radiator anytime in the near future. Maybe during summertime, but we'll go ahead and see. On the other hand, it definitely needs an oil cooler. I am seeing 265 oil temps, and it is a high of like 65 degrees out here. And that's rounding up. I think it's like 63. So it is crazy how high the oil temps are in this car. It should be nowhere near that in this temperature. It should be like at the best, or technically worse, 250 in my humble opinion, based on how cold it is. But it definitely needs oil. Well, first and foremost, it needs suspension. With the stickier tires, it does not. It actually feels less confidence inspiring than it did before. Even though the car is technically shaved off a full second all around on all my times, it just doesn't feel very confidence inspiring because now I am overworking the suspension. The car is just way too grippy for the car, so it's definitely giving it more of a body roll feel. Obviously the vented hood didn't do much for oil temps, but it clearly helped for coolant temps, because like even last time in this weather I was seeing like 210, which is still good, but the fact that I'm seeing under 200, the vented hood is clearly doing its job. The spoiler, not so much. I'm definitely feeling a lot more looser in the rear end than I should feel for having a spoiler versus no spoiler, but honestly I think this is more of a vanity piece anyway. But I digress. We're just trying to get our bearings down. Mark is obviously more focused on his competition for today. And once again, if you guys want to see that video, that'll be out in a few weeks after this video. So to find out who won between Mark and Jake, make sure to subscribe, and let's get back out on track.
Click here.
Here.
Or here.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Somewhere within this
Once
box.
it's up, click there. All right, guys, so I just finished up my last session of the day, and it's still wet out here. Let me show you real quick. So yeah, it's still wet out here. It's still wet out on track, and I went a little too zealous, and yeah, I love tap the wall, so it's not too bad. Overall, it looks like most of it will just buff right out. Doesn't look to be like any major dent. It's kind of like caved in just slightly. Not too bad, but most of it looks like it'll buff right off. If you can see here, most of this is just kind of like peeling off already. There's definitely some paint scratches, so it's not going to be perfect, but you know, it is what it is. That's the drawback of like going out there. This car definitely needs better suspension. On top of that, these tires are amazing. I am definitely shaving off like 1 second easily off my like times right now. So I've already hit a personal best of 151, down from 152. Before I was a consistent 153, 154. Now consistent 152, 153. So the tires and brakes are doing their job. They're shaving a second off my time. But unfortunately, this is not the way I wanted to end the day, but it is what it is. Definitely gonna have to like try to hit up Ton, see if we can buff most of this out, and yeah, these guys are starting to pull in obviously because the session's done. And yeah, anyways, I think this is where I'm going to end the video. So if you guys enjoyed what you saw, please consider subscribing to the channel, and until next time, later.